Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my October 2021 hot takes on upcoming tarot and oracle decks. So if you are new to this series, let me give you a quick little synopsis of what this is all about. So I was inspired to create this series on upcoming tarot and oracle decks by the beautiful, amazing Hannah Louise Poston. I will link her YouTube channel down below. She is a primarily makeup and beauty YouTuber who I absolutely adore, and she does a series about hot takes on new makeup releases, and I thought it'd be really fun to do that in this tarot realm. So that is what we're doing, and that is where I got the idea. A hot take is a piece of deliberately provocative commentary that is based almost entirely on shallow moralizing. In other words, please keep in mind that these are sort of like my opinionated first impressions based on, again, very little actual information. So just know that this is coming from that very shallow place of knowing virtually nothing about most, if not all, of these projects and giving you my opinion on them. I'll talk a little bit about whether they're catching my attention, whether they're not, that sort of thing as we go through. I have to warn you guys, October is apparently a huge month for tarot and oracle deck releases, which makes a lot of sense, but there is a lot of things currently in pre-order status or crowdfunding on Indiegogo or Kickstarter, so this is probably going to be a long one. Buckle up, grab yourself a snack, curl up in someplace cozy with a blanket and a mug of tea and a little candle or something. Just do something to be comfy and to settle right in because, yeah, I have a lot to say. Let's get into it. So we're going to be starting off talking about mass market tarot decks, and the first one I have on my list to chat about is the Wild Unknown Pocket Tarot deck and guidebook. This looks like the Wild Unknown Tarot in a tin, and I'm kind of excited about it. It also looks like it's a pretty reasonable price at about $12.99 US. I'm just saying. Now I'm going to be honest. The Wild Unknown Tarot was a deck that really excited me and rejuvenated my interest in a variety of tarot decks. In fact, at the time that I stumbled upon the Wild Unknown Tarot deck originally, I had kind of stagnated with my tarot practice. I had a very small selection of decks at my disposal, and this was really the deck that started the snowball rolling down the hill, and I think it's because Kim Krans did something really unique and different with the tarot. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen before, and I'd been around the block a little bit when it comes to tarot. So part of me wants to get this just because I think Kim Krans is incredible, and I think what she did was incredible, and I kind of want to own it. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I do have a copy of the Wild Unknown, and if you haven't seen it already, it's just a stunning deck. Leans a little bit pippish. But it's brilliant. There's animals and color and plays on black and white mixed with color. There's something about it that really just, it sparks the intuition. There's so many animal decks and nature decks that I like better, to be honest, just aesthetically speaking. So I traded away my full-size Wild Unknown at one point, but then I got it back. And I haven't considered rehoming it ever again. But do I really need a second copy? I don't know. That said, I think it's awesome that this is going to be coming out with, look, a little pocket-sized tarot guidebook and a tin-sized, I mean, this may come home. I mean, because tin decks are cool, right? Like, tin decks are cool. I kind of want it. I'm not going to lie. I don't need it, though. I mean, it's a second copy of a deck. Mind you, it wouldn't be the first time. Also, there's something about the colors in this version that I feel like they're popping more. It could be the lighting. It could be the way that they are on this particular website. But I just kind of feel like they're just kind of calling my name. I don't know. We'll see. But my hot take is this is really cool. It's a steal. And I think y'all should snap it up. That's my opinion. Maybe y'all can buy it and then I don't have to. I'm just saying. It might come home with me. It might or might not already be on a wish list. So let's move on. Let's move on. The Alice in Wonderland Tarot Deck and Guidebook by Disney. Now, I'm pretty sure that I covered this deck in a previous anti-haul. If I can remember, I might try to link it. Otherwise, just go hunting through my anti-haul playlist. I'm sure you'll find me talking about this. I have a real soft spot for Alice, and that soft spot kind of grew because of my love for the Baba Studios Alice Tarot Deck, completely honest. That deck completely stole my heart and made me want all things Alice and read the Alice stories, and it just set me down a rabbit hole. The Disney Alice got me kind of excited because the idea of a licensed Alice in Wonderland tarot deck that pulls from the Disney sort of world, it does make me excited. I'm a little bit nervous though, because every time one of these decks has come out by Minerva Siegel, they've come out very pippish, but look at little Dinah. Oh my gosh. This is really cute. They've come out pretty pippish or mixed pips and illustrated or scenic minors. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to be disappointed. And you know what really irritates me? It really irritates me when they don't show examples of the minor arcana in these sample images. Like, we get samples of majors. So there's literally no way to know until somebody gets their paws on this deck and does a flip through. And until then, I won't know if it's pips or it's not pips. It looks real cute. I mean, I'm not going to lie, it looks real cute. Will it get neglected in my collection? Probably. Do I kind of want it a little tiny bit even though I've anti-hauled it? Kind of. But I want to wait and see what the minors look like. That's my hot take. The African Goddess Rising Oracle 44 card deck and guidebook. This is due to release October 5th. So just in a few days, at least at the time I'm filming this, we shall see. This looks so pretty. And I have had so many requests from people who say that they are interested in this deck. It looks stunning. Every time I see this, I'm like, this is gorgeous. I love that there are the names of the figures represented here on the cards, but also a like title or keyword kind of situation happening. I think that's awesome because it'll give you something to work with intuitively, which I think is amazing. The colors in this deck are breathtaking. This is really, really, really beautiful. Okay, I can keep saying it's beautiful. Clearly we know that it's beautiful. So I will be keeping my eyes on this one for sure. Really excited to see some kind of walkthrough or review of this deck for sure. So the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot by Radleigh Valentine. Now I'm legit kind of excited to see this coming out, but also kind of disappointed, and I'll tell you why. When I first heard about this, so this is releasing near the end of October, and in case you're new to this series, I do try to, because there are so many releases. You guys, I've never realized how many new deck releases there really are coming out in a given month until I tried to begin this series where I want to talk about releases that are coming up in the next month or so, and I realized that for October I have more than 50. Are you kidding me right now? There's a lot. There's a lot. But what was I saying with that? I forget. I distracted myself. Anyways, the reason I got excited when I first heard about this, and most of the things that show up on this list, by the way, are thanks to you all. So by the way, quick moment. Thank you all, because I have been asking you guys what you are most excited about that is currently in pre-order status, and you guys have been helping me to build this list, and I'm trying to get to as many of the decks you guys mentioned as possible in these videos. Sorry, side note aside. Guardian Angel Messages Tarot. When I heard this was coming out by Radleigh Valentine, I got really excited because I love my Guardian Angel Tarot, which is by Radleigh Valentine, originally Doreen Virtue / Radleigh Valentine. Got real excited. But this doesn't look anything like the Guardian Angel Tarot, which I guess makes sense. It is a new deck. And I do think that Radleigh Valentine's decks in general are really well thought out, and they have this really soft, gentle energy that I think is worth taking a peek at if you are at all drawn to angels, angel messages, angel guides, working with angels on any level, because I feel like Radleigh Valentine makes that work feel accessible, even if you're normally a little bit like, angels, I don't know, but like, I feel like Radleigh Valentine specifically does a really, really good job. This Ace of Earth card is so dang cute. I will say, though, there's something about this particular style of art that is a huge turnoff for me. I don't know what or how to define it. For a deck that's all about angels, this feels like it's doing a pretty good job, but there's something about this art style. It's too like circa 2005 for me, and I don't know how to define that. I just know that it is the case. Let's talk about the Tarot Nuagus. I don't know how to say this. I apologize to everybody who knows how this is supposed to be pronounced. So this is an upcoming release due to come out in October. Now it says add to cart, so maybe I missed the boat on the pre-order. Oh no, I guess it's letting you pre-order. I don't know how it works ordering from US Games. You know why? Because I can't order from US Games because I'm in Canada, and they don't let you order from US Games when you're in Canada. You have to be in the US to order from US Games. But anyways, it's supposed to be coming out this month. I don't know anything about this. So it says the faraway town of Nuagus, I'm just going to stick with that pronunciation, in the land of clouds has its own culture, creatures, traditions, and tarot. Tarot Nuagus pays tribute to Marseille-style tarot with some antique elements, but it also embraces a modern, playful spirit with goblins, penguins, pixies, gargoyles, and animated mushrooms. Okay, so I understand goblins, pixies, gargoyles, and animated mushrooms. That all sounds very fey and kind of like fairy tale-ish, but why the penguins? That seems kind of random to me. Why penguins? Maybe somebody else can understand or can explain it to me rather. Let's just take a look at some cards. Maybe that'll make it all make more sense. Oh, I didn't mean to zoom in on cleavage, but there it is. Okay, so this is really quirky and reminds me of like more wild fae. I mean, I'd venture that this is like giving me feelings like this feels like the Deviant Moon Tarot of the Fae Kingdom. That's my first impression / hot take. Can we get more art? I'm kind of digging the weird, quirky. This is very Deviant Moon to me. Like it's not, obviously it's not Patrick Valence's artwork or anything. Well, actually, it's kind of feeling, is it kind of feeling a little like Patrick Valence's artwork to you guys? Is it just me? Like it's not, but it feels so similar. Like color palette is totally different. Obviously the style is different, but even just the way that these wands are these like kind of viney things with the little bulby bits at the end. I know technical terms are my forte, clearly. There's just something, there's something a little creepy, cute, not cute, just creepy. There's something a little creepy and dark-ish. You see, there's a penguin. Why? Why the penguin? Why the penguins? I don't understand. It's such a random element to throw in with goblins and fairies. Does anybody understand what I mean by that? Like why penguins? The gargoyles totally work. The fae totally works. But then random penguin? I don't understand the penguin reference. I don't get it. I mean, obviously whoever created this deck, shouldn't say whoever. Who is the artist? Let's see. Malefique. Oh no, that's a different deck. Needman. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Gniedmann is the artist. Obviously, they like penguins. I mean, which is cool because penguins are cute. I love the backings. They got that Halloween black and orange vibe going on. I mean, this could be a fun Halloween-y kind of deck. Okay, you guys, I can't get over the penguin thing. I'm not getting over it. That's my hot take. I don't understand the penguins. Also, I don't know how I feel about this. It does feel a little bit like Deviant Moon, so I feel like it would fill that same niche for me of the Deviant Moon Tarot fills. So I probably don't need this, but I don't know. Maybe I'll think about it a little bit. But it is funky. I just can't get over the penguins. I can't get over the penguins. The Mystic Martian Oracle. I really wish I was more into the like sort of alien Martian aesthetic than I am because there is some fun stuff happening here. So this is actually due out November 1st currently. And I will tell you guys, one thing I've noticed already through trying to keep track of all the upcoming releases for this series, I've seen some dates get pushed. There were definitely some decks that I was expecting in October that when I went to check on them this month and double check their release date were showing November or later. So there's definitely mass market publishers being affected by whatever's been affecting our indie creators as far as shipping delays and all that kind of stuff, production delays. So at least that's my assumption based on the fact that there was a sooner due date and others later due dates. This one is currently due for November 1st, and I don't know that I've seen that happen on this one, just mentioning it as an aside. But I have to tell you, this deck looks so fun. If this was my aesthetic, I would be all over this. This is not at all my aesthetic, and in fact is probably something that would give me nightmares. Not because I'm necessarily specifically terrified of aliens, but because these feel kind of sort of like realistic. Is that a word I can use for aliens? I suppose so. It's got some cool keywords here. Timid, misunderstood, and shy for the grays, which I'm assuming type of alien. Mantis beings, enigma, elusive, sensitive. I mean, the keywords seem pretty good. Autonomy, free will, manifestation for the Andromedans. It's funky. If you're into the alien aesthetic, or if you have an alien tarot and you've been just waiting for the perfect oracle deck to pair with it, this might be like right up your alley. Aliens are not my thing, so this is probably going to be an easy pass for me. The Radiant Tarot. All right, so this is a deck by Alexandra Eldridge and Tony Barnstone. This was not on my radar at all, and it's currently due to release November 1st, and so it's right on track to come up in the next month or so. This cover image of this like raven in the Hierophant's robe or crow, hello, you don't need to be that big, calm down, okay, is really cool and definitely caught my attention. So let's take a look at some of these other cards. I like the backing. This press photo or whatever is not making the cardstock look good. I mean, I'll say that. That's just a first impression hot take. I have no idea. Okay, so we've got another, okay, so is this a trend now? I've just realized. So there's been a lot of like, or at least I feel like I've been seeing or encountering a lot of sort of like animal heads on people-ish bodies or like anthropomorphic animals. Not necessarily a bad thing, just something I feel like I've been noticing a lot lately. Could be timing though, because like one of those, for example, is the Bohemian Animal Tarot, which has been out for a while and I've just discovered. Sorry, I got distracted by the sun card, which is really cool with the ladder and like all these like almost like collagey looking clips. This is a really different kind of deck. It's got some personality and quirk for sure. Is it a pip deck? That kind of made it look like it was. Is that the only minor arcana card we get to see? Yeah. So it looks like it's probably going to be a pip deck because here's the 10 of cups and all the other example cards are either court cards like we see here and here, or they're major arcana cards like here, here, and here. And then if we go up to this press photo, we don't get, there's an ace of cups, which is also just a cup. So this is a thing I really want publishers to do better at, because I think it would make a lot of us make more informed decisions and just in general, I think be better. There's nothing wrong with pip decks. I feel like publishers kind of not hide the fact that it's a pip deck, but they don't seem to do a very good job of showing enough cards for us to know if it's a pip deck or if it's more scenic or picturesque kind of minors. And I wish that was a more consistent thing that we got to see, because all too often I feel like I stumble on a deck like this and I can see court cards and majors and no minors. Now, credit to the publisher here because, of course, there is an example of one minor arcana card. Kind of wish there was a couple, but that's still good enough for me to get the idea that it's probably going to be kind of a pippish sort of deck. No problem, but just a side random rant. Anyways, the Radiant Tarot, what does it say about this? So it says it was born from the author and artist's years of working with archetypal images. The art is inspired by Gaia Mind, where all creations form, animal, vegetable, mineral, affect our precious planet in life-supporting ways. So it kind of goes on from there. I'm not sure. This one has like a quirk and a personality to it, but I'm not sure I'm in the market for a pip deck, so we'll have to see. Next up, we have the Self-Care Wisdom Cards, a 52-card deck by Cheryl Richardson. I have another Cheryl Richardson deck. I'm pretty sure it is the Power of Surrender Oracle, and I really enjoy it quite a bit. This looks really kind of cute. Let's pull up the images. I love me a self-care themed deck, and currently I only have one that I go to for client readings and for myself on the regular. So, ooh, okay, I'm really digging this art style. Oh, there's words on the back, but I could be okay with that. For a self-care deck specifically, I only use these in a particular context. So I tend to use self-care decks in a way where I like am kind of pulling them as a task to do, like something to focus on. And here we have, I don't know if this one is connected to this one or if it's connected to this one. Let's see. Pamper. Let's see. Okay. So this is how it works, I think. So we have the possibility card, and then I think on the back of the possibility card, it says, focus your attention on what could go right. When you learn to imagine the best case scenario, you get to enjoy an experience twice, which is really lovely. So it gives you something to chew on, but it's not so specific, which is lovely. This one looks specific. It says pamper. We see a bubble bath. This art style, by the way, is super dang cute. And then on the back, it says self-care is a necessity, not a luxury, which I think is a great way to twist the way we look at self-care. Authenticity. Love this. Love that she's walking the opposite direction in a crowd of people. Live life for you, not the audience in your head. Ooh, okay, I like this. I really like the look of this. This one's getting me kind of excited. I'm not gonna lie. This one looks really good. So hot take, definitely tempted. I'm gonna keep my eyes on this, and I'm kind of excited. So I'm gonna actually keep this tab pinned on my computer so I can take a look at it in a little bit. All right. Next up, we have the Empath's Empowerment deck. This looks like nothing yet because there's no pictures. I need pretty pictures, so I can't really give much opinion on this. Sometimes decks like this are more like word-heavy decks, like you pull a card and it's got a message for you, which don't tend to be things that I'm interested in. Sometimes, though, like in the previous deck, it's like a picture with words, so until I see more, I have no idea. For now, I'm just going to say anything around empath, empowerment, and sensitive people is going to resonate for a lot of us, I think, because I think a lot of us that gravitate towards tarot tend to also be more leaning in that sensitive direction. I'm not saying that always. That's definitely a stereotype, but I think it could end up being really interesting. Okay. So in going through the mass market, as I've been filming this video, I've had to remove about half the mass market decks. Well, maybe not that many, but it sure seems like that many that I don't want to talk about yet because they're not releasing in the next month or so. They're actually not releasing until December, but they were previously going to release in October. And decks that were previously due, say around October 20th, are now at like December 8th. So I'm sharing that with you guys because I think it's interesting to see, because I've been tracking, that this is definitely happening globally, where we're seeing production of all kinds of things get pushed back, which is good information to have if you are somebody that has pre-ordered a thing and you're noticing it's not coming out when you expected, or you have backed a thing on Kickstarter or Indiegogo and it's like delayed. Just know that this is happening like everywhere. These are across various publishers, various companies, affecting products that were going to Amazon, not just indie creators. And I just want to say that because I think sometimes the experience we have when we're crowdfunding something, or we're like on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, or we're pre-ordering something from an indie creator, it's a little bit easier to sort of think that that's exclusive to that, an exclusive experience to that type of purchasing, when in reality it's very clear that this is hitting all types of markets, and it's really kind of nerdy fascinating to me. So I thought I would share that, since I've definitely noticed this just trying to film this video today, that there was a lot that I'm like, oh wait, that's not coming out now till December, so I guess I'll talk about it later. Oh wait, that's not coming out till December. And I found like 3 or 4 of those in a row, and I'm like, okay, now we're looking at the Tarot V. Now the Tarot V is a vampire themed tarot that was definitely originally due to come out, and so I'm going to mention it now, but it was originally due to come out, I'm pretty sure, sometime in October, which of course makes sense for a vampire tarot. Of course, the release for this would have been planned prior to Halloween. At least that's what I believe I remember. I could have it wrong. I do currently have it on my list for November 8th, but to me, and maybe this is super shallow of me, but I would not, but I mean, it's hot takes. We're supposed to be shallow moralizing, right? But I would not buy a deck like this that's exclusively based on this like vampiric kind of world, from what I can tell from the imagery and the fact that it's called Tarot V, and I'm assuming is by the same people who did Tarot Z, which was a zombie themed deck. Like, this is the kind of thing that I would get for a Halloween deck. But I'm certainly not going to get it for this Halloween, when it's not even due out until mid-November. And I'm sure things like this are just wreaking havoc on the publishing world, but I think this is a really excellent example. That being said, as there are more images, and maybe for next Halloween, I will keep my eye on this one, because I don't have a vampire-themed tarot, and it's kind of fun looking, but it might also be a little too dark for me. So I guess we will see, because my line is really weird on like creepy versus like not creepy. So I guess we'll just see. But that one wraps up what I had for the mass market category. So we are going to move on now to talking about the indie category, and let's start with the Playful Heart Tarot. Now, this is not new to market. The Playful Heart Tarot has been out, but several people commented, and I did hear from Zara Kitten Chops, that this deck is now open for pre-order for the next printing or the next edition of this deck. There's not a ton of changes, and if you go to Zara's Instagram, which I will try to remember to have linked below, but I'll at least have this website linked below. In fact, let me just bring these photos up and move them where we can see them. Hello? Okay, there we go. I have and love this deck so much. I'm really excited it's coming out for a second printing. There are some small changes, including this really lovely subtle color shift along the bottom of the Minor Arcana. Let me see if I can find an example and show you. Okay, here you go. So can you see how the Pentacles cups here are bordered in a shade of green? And then the cups are bordered in a shade of blue. And then the swords have a bit of purple and the wands a bit of pink. It's pretty subtle and non-intrusive on the artwork, but it means you'll be able to easily identify that color of each suit, which I think is so cool. My copy, which is from the first printing, doesn't have that, but that's really a neat addition. I also know that Zara made some changes here and there to the artwork, mostly to bring certain figures more front and center, but I definitely encourage you to go check out her Instagram video flipping through this. She's also added some new extra bonus cards. So she has bonus cards in the deck. I know there's some examples here. Where are they? Yeah, like these ones. Things are easier than you think. You are not alone. Take the first step today. This deck is incredibly encouraging and loving, but I will also say that one of the things that I love about the Playful Heart Tarot is how emotive it is. Like you can see here in the moon, there's so much expression. Yeah, or here in the Devil. There's so much happening on these characters' faces. It's a really wonderful deck, I think, for connecting to your like emotions. It feels really effective at that. It is absolutely beautiful, and the production quality on the Playful Heart Tarot is absolutely stunning. It is the exact same quality as the Pagan Otherworlds Tarot, which it's made by the same company. If you've ever heard people rave about Pagan Otherworlds Tarot and its production quality and how it feels to shuffle and such. It's the exact same experience with the Playful Heart Tarot. It's gorgeous, beautiful cardstock, excellent quality, lovely thick tuck box. I could go on and on and on. I'm a fan. I'm going to stop because I'm no longer shallow moralizing. Now I'm just praising this deck that I already love so much. But I don't think I'm going to scoop up the second edition, mostly because my first is in such beautiful condition. And of course, that's because it's a very high quality, sturdy deck. I'm going to stop now. But check this out. If you don't already have this deck, check this out. It is stunning. And I don't know when she's hoping to ship. Does it say on here? Oh, early to mid-October, so super soon. So maybe scoop in and get your pre-order now on this one if you're interested in it. But again, I already have it. I already love it. I think it's fantastic. Don't sleep on this one if it's one that you're feeling called to. I just think it's well worth it. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop because I'm just being a cheerleader now and not actually giving you my hot takes. But I have more than a hot take on this one because I do own it and love it. And this one was requested. You guys did want to hear about this one. Okay. The Mystic Palette Tarot. Okay, so I do have a bit of a hot take on Mr. Ciro Marchetti, who I absolutely adore. I think his artwork is really, really stunning. I have found from my own practice that for whatever reason, I don't seem to reach for more than one Ciro deck really ever. This is what I've learned. I'm also kind of bonded to the Legacy of the Divine Tarot, which was my first Ciro deck that I really connected to. My absolute first one was actually the Gilded Tarot. But the Legacy of the Divine was one that just I felt really bonded to, partly because way back when I had like an iPod Touch, I think it was, something that had an app, but it was before smartphones, there was a really excellent tarot app that used the Legacy of the Divine artwork. Okay, I'm just storytelling at this point, and this video is going to be 8 million hours long, so I'm going to just move it along. But basically, I love that deck. That being said, Mr. Ciro Marchetti, I could have sworn, said he was going to stop making tarot decks. I'm pretty sure he said he was going to stop. And then he had this like kind of like final like deck that was coming out. I think that was going to be the Tarot Grand Lux originally. And then there was like an Encore deck, I think. And now there's another one. Now, I don't think that Ciro Marchetti should stop making tarot if he enjoys making tarot, because he makes absolutely beautiful decks. And if you are drawn to this vibrant color artwork, check his decks out. This new one, Mystic Palette, looks really, really pretty. There's a lot of vivid color and expression in Ciro's decks. I think his I don't know anything about art technically, but I just think his decks are beautiful. This one is really, really cool. I have a thing about this like hollow-eyed devil sort of situation. I feel like he's done that before, and I didn't really like it then either. Or maybe it was in a death card. It might have been in a death card that he did that before. His decks tend to have this kind of almost futuristic kind of feel, but they're very vibrant. There's something about the vibrancy that always pulls me in. I love that she's like holding a dragon, this like Page of Wands, I think it is. This is really pretty. Gosh darn it. It's really pretty. But the thing is, I always fall in love with every new deck that Ciro Marchetti creates. But then when I get them or I purchase them, I always end up setting them aside, it seems like, in favor of my Legacy of the Divine. Because when I want to reach for a Ciro deck, that's the one that I reach for. That said, this looks really pretty. And you can pre-order it right now. Shipping is currently set to begin late November. But you never can tell with an indie deck. And I don't know how long the pre-orders are open. So if this is one that you're interested in, definitely scoop it up. Okay, what's happening here? Is there two different color? There is two different color versions. Okay, so there's like this vibrant version, full color edition. But then look, there's a sepia toned edition. I don't think he's ever done that before. That's really cool. So it's a more muted color palette, and it's got a more like sort of aged feel, which actually I think suits the artwork of this deck really well. And you'd think I'd be the other way around. Like normally I'm big on colors. You'd think I'd like be more drawn to the color one, but the sepia toned one is really moody and lovely. I almost get this feeling like this is the way he envisioned this. I'm making this up in my head. I literally have no idea. But it's almost like it was meant. Look at this Hermit card. It's so good. Look at the age on the Hermit's face. I wish it didn't gray out when I put my mouse over it. But look at that. Oh, this sepia toned one. This is... Oh, no. I just said I wasn't tempted, and then this happened. But this is so unlike any of his other decks that I feel like it would stand alone. This feels different enough that I don't think it would necessarily compete with my existing decks, and it would give me a reason to have another Ciro deck. Oh, now I'm super tempted. Okay, well, I'm going to pin this one too and like look at it later and decide for myself if this is one that I'm... But I love this sepia tone version. I don't know. I want this. I kind of want this. Okay, I'm going to stop looking at it. All right, let's go on to the next one. Now let's take a look at the Prism Tarot. So I don't know who tipped me off about this deck. And by the way, again, thank you all for the tips throughout. It's been really helpful for this series. This is a really pretty color story. Look at this with all these pastels. It looks very like futuristic and pippish. Oh, that's a cloth. I love this pastel rainbow effect. I want to see more cards. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of cloths and other things. Ooh, there's a rainbow holographic edging. Clearly, I'm a sucker for that. Oh my gosh, am I that easy? But there's not nearly enough images here of the cards. Why not? Is there another listing here? No. Prism Tarot Brilliant Cut. So this is currently on pre-order. It says low in stock. I don't know what that means when it's a pre-order though. Can pre-orders go low in stock? I don't know. Heads up, by the way, I think this is an important point and it came up in my Facebook group recently, and so I want to mention it here. As far as I know, pre-orders are technically against Etsy's terms of service. Now, that's as far as I know. Please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. However, that's my understanding. The reason that is, again, as per my understanding, is that Etsy has a period of time, a window you could say, with which or during which you can, as a customer, file a complaint with the seller of a product. So if you don't get it on time, if something's wrong with it, and during that window, the seller can, if they choose, refund you, and they can refund you through Etsy's system properly. So this window closes at a certain point because Etsy doesn't want people to have something for, say, 6 months or whatever the window is, and then come back and make a complaint against a seller because that's not entirely fair to the seller. So Etsy's set up to not allow pre-orders. Now, pre-orders are on Etsy all of the time, but I just think it's worth noting that if you pre-order something on Etsy and you get that product after that window has closed, Etsy cannot do anything to help you if there's a problem with the deck. So make sure that you are pre-ordering from creators who you trust, that you feel good about, or only pre-order if you know it's going to come in like a shorter period of time. There has been issues in the past with creators who have put pre-orders on Etsy and there's been problems way after the fact. So just use your best judgment. I'm just wanting you to have the information that if you pre-order on Etsy, it's kind of an at your own risk scenario. So keep that in mind and just be aware that often the sellers don't know that pre-orders are against Etsy's terms of service because, let's face it, not very many of us read the fine print on things. I just happen to know because Peggy runs Etsy stuff and keeps me in the loop on Etsy stuff, and I happen to know that. But anyways, at your own risk and all. I don't know anything about this creator. I don't know anything about this deck. I will say there's not nearly enough images of these cards for me to think about whether or not I might actually want this deck. So I'm not currently tempted. There's just not enough. It is pretty though. But yeah, I'd need to see more before feeling properly tempted by this particular one. We got to talk about the Tempest Tarot deck, because why are all the oceany themed tarot decks all coming out all at once? That's what it feels like. It's not really. We're talking months and months, right? Like I got the Healing Waves Tarot. I've backed the Ocean Tarot. This is now the Tempest Tarot, and here's what happened to me. I saw somewhere, I wish I knew where, I saw some reference from the creator describing the experience they want you to have with this deck, all about like, the sea and like feeling it. And it's got this kind of vintagey vibe. I know I've only shown you like one picture so far. So let me just show you. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay. Let's look at some more pictures. So the back has this kind of like octopusy sort of like border on it, which is really cool. And then I love this kind of like black and white with pops of color kind of feel. Again, it's got that kind of vintagey, oceany vibe. Loving these majors a lot. I want to see a minor arcana. The Lovers, the Star. Okay. Ace of Swords. So they've got that kind of pirate sword. What is that called? A machete? What's a pirate sword called? Tell me in the comments below if you know what a pirate sword is called. Is it a machete? I don't think that's right. That doesn't look like a machete. Is it a saber? I don't know why whenever I'm making videos, I'm constantly like trying to think of words for things. But anyways, there's our Ace of Cups. There's our Ace of Pentacles. There's our Ace of Wands. And the first card was the Star. Okay, so I think it's probably a pip deck. Let's just see the creator's Instagram. Let's see if that helps us out at all. Tarot by Maisie. Okay, so here we go. Here's a picture of a tarot spread by the creator, and you can clearly see that these cards are pips, right? Yeah, Two of Pentacles. Yeah, let's take a look at some more pictures so I'm not making assumptions, because I can't tell if it's like almost like the Wild Unknown, where it's like there's hints of pips, but then there's also non-pips, or maybe there's things in the pip cards that like allude to the tarot meaning. I want more cards. Excuse me, Maisie. Can I have some more card images? Let's go here. Okay. So let's just take a look. So the Nine of Swords, we've got, it is 9 swords all lined up, but there is this like sort of dark cloud, and there's sort of like octopus tentacles coming at us. The Five of Pentacles does show a like ship that's taken damage or shipwrecked. It looks like it's reversed, so it's hard to tell in this image. Like at first glance, it looks like a pip deck, but I think it actually might be more like what we would imagine the Wild Unknown is kind of a pip deck, but there's also more happening than just pips. It's just subtler, more subtle. I don't know what the right way to say that is. Like, for example, here, you can see the Eight of Wands in the background. We see a bird in flight above, and we see all these, like, spyglasses all lined up. So I don't know. Like, is it a pip deck? Is it not a pip deck? Weigh in down below. Let me know what you think. But for now, until I know, I'm not sure. But the pre-order... Oh, and that's the other thing. I couldn't tell, and maybe it says on the creator's thing, I'm pretty sure this is just a pre-order. But on the website, it just says Tempest Tarot Deck, $30. You can choose with guidebook or without, or with a keyword guide or without a keyword guide. But it doesn't actually say on the website when this is supposed to ship or what the pre-order dates are. And my personal opinion / hot take, if I'm going to buy something, I ideally want all of the details around said purchase to be right on the website. Now, it could just be that this is actually available now. Maybe it's not in pre-order anymore. Maybe it's readily available. But that's what the website looks like. So I'm confused. And it could very likely be just my not understanding what I'm looking at. But I do like that to be clear. So that's my hot take on that. And then we have on Indiegogo in the in demand section. This is basically a deck that was on Indiegogo to crowdfund, but has now done that and is still open for pre-orders. It looks like the estimated shipping is sometime in December. This is the La Flora Botanical deck. So this is like a sepia toned and black. Where are pictures of the cards? Oh, there we go. Oh, it's moving very fast. Very fast. My eyes don't move that fast. Okay, let's scroll down. I can't with that. Okay, let's do this instead. So sepia toned, like florals or plants. It's really hard to tell. I'm not feeling particularly excited about this myself, but it does look really... I almost said planty. I'm filming this late at night. I'm sleepy. I almost said planty. It looks very planty. That's my hot take. That's very intelligent of me, but there you go. This deck is calling out for color, in my own opinion. Obviously, that's not the aesthetic the creator was going for. There's also a lot of pointillism. Is that what you call it when it's like art made up of little dots? I think I said a fancy art word, and I'm currently really proud of myself. Is pointillism a thing? Somebody tell me so I can continue to be proud of myself if that was even a thing, or did I just make that up? Anyways, this looks cool, but not for me. Pretty sure that's a no-go. Okay, the Ocean Tarot. I spilled the beans earlier. I totally backed this on Kickstarter when the campaign launched. Real excited for it. This is the deck that I keep telling people who are sad that they missed out on the Healing Waves Tarot to please check out. They are different art styles, okay? I'm not going to lie, they are different. But they have very similar energies, and they have very similar choices made in a lot of the cards. In fact, most notably to me is the Temperance card, which is this super cute manatee in a very similar position. A manatee was also featured, I don't remember what card, in the Healing Waves. A lot of very similar kind of choices were made in the artwork. A lot of similar choices were made. I love this Queen of Pentacles Otter Under the Sea. I think this is just a really, really, really well done ocean deck, and I'm super excited to get it in. I will say it's got a slightly darker feel than the Healing Waves Tarot, but it looks absolutely beautiful, and the production quality details also look really beautiful. I'm super excited to get this deck in. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. You can currently pre-order it on Etsy. Currently estimated for delivery by November, so it's not too long from now. So as per my previous comment about Etsy pre-orders, this one you're probably going to get it well within that window with Etsy, so it's a little bit less risky than a longer term pre-order. Personally, I know that this creator has done successful Kickstarters in the past and has a lot of really good reviews on their shop. These are all things you can take into account when considering whether or not you want to pre-order. I personally am incredibly excited for this from Kickstarter, but now that you can also pre-order it in general, I think that's really cool. So yeah, check it out. Oh my gosh. So we are on to Kickstarters and there are so many to talk about. So we're going to get into this. I have quite a list because there are so many tarot projects on Kickstarter right now, most of which you guys told me about. A few of these I found on my own. Please ignore the how many days to go on here because usually I am filming anything on the day that I'm filming this that I know will still be available to back, or that I'm pretty sure will still be available to back when this video goes up, based on my schedule, depending on when I can film and all that sort of thing. So this says 10 days, but it's probably like a lot closer to being done. This is the Quilted Tarot. It doesn't look like it's going to fund, so let's just see what the deal is, because there's only 8 backers, which is not a great sign. So this is somebody who is a quilting artist and tarot enthusiast. My purpose here is to combine these passions to create beautiful artworks that many others may enjoy and use for your own personal growth. Ah, here it is. I plan to make one wall-hanging quilt for each of the 22 major arcana cards in the deck, photograph these quilts, and then turn these photographs into a beautiful 22-card major arcana tarot deck. So right out the gate, here's what I've discovered. These quilts are not made. Quilts are not quick to make. And they're funding for a project that's not, in my opinion, far enough along to grab the attention of most people who back tarot decks on Kickstarter. Now, Kickstarter is a platform where you can fund projects like this. That is one of the things you should be able to do on Kickstarter. So I don't think the creators do anything wrong or is like at all out of line for doing it this way. I think that makes a lot of sense. Quilting is also an expensive hobby, and being able to quilt 22 specific quilts that are themed around the tarot would be an expensive and time-consuming endeavor. So I understand why the creator here would want to fund that process. And if you're excited about this idea, then definitely give it a look, or maybe reach out to them or follow them on Instagram, because it doesn't look like it's going to fund as a project. But I think this is more a matter of the fact that a lot of us have come to expect that if we're backing a deck on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, that most of the product or the deck that we're backing is complete, which it's kind of a shame in a way, because Kickstarter was designed to like help fund things, not to just like sell finished products basically. But we are an impatient society, myself included. And I think we're just used to that. So then because we're used to that, projects like this just don't grab people's attention. They want to see it further along. And also there isn't any guarantee that this person will actually make all 22 quilts and then like make sure that you get your deck or whatever. It sounds like it would be a majors only deck in this case. So yeah, my thoughts, I don't like to back tarot decks specifically unless the artwork is almost completely done, no matter how stunning, beautiful, or breathtaking it might be. So for me, this is a hard pass, but that doesn't mean that, again, that this person shouldn't be trying to fund this project on Kickstarter. It's just, I think that might be why it's not funded. That's just my hot take on it. Let's talk about the Fox and Owl Tarot by Star D. Hill. This one also doesn't have a lot longer to go and only has 19 backers. So let's see if we can identify maybe why that is here. I don't know. Like, it looks cute. It's kind of a minimalist style deck, it looks like. I don't know why this doesn't have more attention than it does. Maybe people weren't finding it, because I do think it's kind of cute. Like, we've got 5 feathers here, strength. It's, again, more minimalist. There's like these pops of color, but it looks cute to me. Maybe I'm just not spotting the problem. I do see these backs. Are these backs? I think these might be the backs, and the backs have like words on them and they tell you what the cards mean. So like here it has the 2 of water and it says mutual attraction, unified love, friendship. And as you scroll down, you can see other keywords and such. I know that a lot of people, myself included, like to have backs that are uniform so that when you lay cards out for a spread, you don't know what the cards are. I'm guessing it's a combination of factors why it hasn't funded, but it just seems like it's not quite gaining the traction that it needs. And I suspect it just needs to be tweaked a little bit, maybe promoted a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of pretty. It's just not something that I think I would reach for. And I think the backs is the biggest thing, right? Not one that's calling to me necessarily. Tattered Wings Oracle Intuition Edition. Okay, this looks pretty. This looks really pretty. When is this supposed to ship? This is supposed to ship in November. Keep in mind that a lot of these things are getting delayed, right? But I feel like there's not, it's a very dark deck. Is this a tarot? Sorry, I'm confused. No, it's an oracle. It is an oracle. It's got this like haunting, shadowy look about it that's really cool. It would be neat if this was coming out in advance of Halloween. I feel like this would do better if this campaign had launched like in September or like August to give it time to ship by Halloween or whatever time frame the creator needs. I'm kind of surprised it doesn't have more than 53 backers, but it has met its goal, which is amazing. So this looks really cool. I will be keeping my eye on it. It's kind of interesting. I don't feel like the backs entirely match the fronts. They feel like kind of bright compared to all the kind of dark, moody shadowiness of the fronts of the cards. That's like kind of my initial impression hot take, but I will definitely be keeping my eyes on this one. The Little Odd Tarot deck. How cute is this? Okay, look at it. It's so cute. I love these characters. They crack me up. Oh, it's so far from its goal, but it's still got quite I am filming this about a week before the end of September, so, you know, it's got some more time to fund. It's got 12 days at the time I'm filming this, so by the time you guys see it, it'll still have a few days left for sure. I love these characters. I actually think they're really, really cute. Look at this strength card. Wait, oh no, I lost it. Come back, come back. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Look at this. The character and the lion are like nose to nose. That is so cute. The Hermit, Justice, the Hanged Man. This is fun. It is black and white, so I don't know yet, but it's fun. I love the characters' faces in this deck. Let's take a look at, and the minors are fully illustrated. They're scenic. Look at the 10 of Wands with the wand stuck in the turtle's back. That's really cute. This is really, really cute. I'm super stunned that I have not heard more people talking about this. I feel like this is up so many people's alleys. It's got a lot of personality. Like the 6 of Swords is 6 swords. Let's see if I can bring this in so you can see it a little better. Oh, I keep losing it. Okay. The 6 swords is like 6 swords lined up, but they've got like little pieces of baggage on them, which is so fun as an intuitive reader. It's like there's the getting away from stuff, but there's also the baggage that comes along with getting away from stuff. I feel like this is a really smart, well thought out deck, and I am really excited about it. I don't normally get excited about black and white decks, so I feel like I'm kind of shopping with you guys right now. This is not good. Let me pin this. I'm going to have to look at it again later and consider whether or not this is one I might want to back, but that is really cool. And it's got so much further to go to meet its goal, but I think it's really a well done deck. What is the hesitation here? Let's see. Is it the shipping date? Let's just see. No, it says estimated to ship. Let's pull down to the actual deck here. Little Odd deck. I want the first one that says it's got just the deck. Here it is. Pledge US $55 or more, and you get the Little Odd deck, and it's estimated to ship somewhere around December. Like, why is there not more? I feel like more people should be backing this. I'm not trying to be a deck pusher, you guys, but I just think this is really cool looking. And it's got so much personality. This is what we're always looking for, right? Ooh, and it's being printed with Print Ninja. Spoiler alert, I'm learning a little bit about all the different printing companies, and I like their quality. Anyways, okay. I'm just saying this looks cute. This looks really cute. I would be curious, okay, if this is one that you talked yourself out of, I would be curious what your hesitation is. Feel free to let us know in the comments because this looks great to me. Maybe it's because it doesn't have a video. I've noticed that Kickstarters with videos tend to do a little bit better. But this looks really cute. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about it now. Okay, next deck. Oh my gosh, the Magical Folklore Lenormand deck it's well on its way to meeting its goal. It's still got like a bunch of time left. Magical Folklore Lenormand. Is this based on a particular? Wait. Oh, I see. They've accidentally listed 2022 somewhere. As a printing date? Oh no. But they're actually planning for this year, which is actually really good news. I thought it was going to be the other way around. This has got a lot of character for a Lenormand deck. I will say, I tend to be weirdly, I've probably mentioned this before, but I tend to be weirdly picky about Lenormand decks, and I tend to want them to be fairly uncluttered and unbusy, like the exact opposite of how I want my tarot, because Lenormand is actually kind of read very opposite the way I read tarot. So Yeah, this feels a little bit busy to me, but it's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. And if you like really detailed art on your Lenormand decks, this is very atmospheric. It's really pretty. Yeah, not necessarily for me, but I'm going to be curious to see this come out and hear people talking about it because it looks really nice. The Joy Seeker Oracle. It's very pink. I'm pretty sure there was a tarot by the same creator. This one is funded. Pretty sure I passed up the tarot by the same creator because of all the pink. And I love pink. Y'all, really, I do. But this comes back to that sort of monochromatic tarot deck issue where everything is too pink because it's no different than black and white to me once it's like this. Like, it's prettier than black and white because I like pink better than black and white, but it's still basically monochromatic. And that's really the essence of my hot take on that. I just don't think I'm very tempted by decks like this, but the quality of the artwork is really pretty. The depth of the artwork is really pretty. Just too much pink. Never thought I'd say that, but there it is. The Journey deck, a learning tarot deck and oracle all in one. Okay, so it's a tarot deck that has the keyword, a keyword for what the, or keywords for what the tarot card means, kind of on this banner right on the artwork, which is clever. So like for the 7 of Cups, it's options and confusion. Makes sense. For the 10 of Cups, ultimate love. For the 2 of Cups, reciprocity and soulmates. Sure. For the Queen of Cups, nurturing queen. For the King of Cups, master of emotion. 3 of Swords, heartache and loss. 10 of Swords, brutal ending. I mean, okay. I see, this is the one thing I will say about, I think keywords are excellent and helpful. Obviously, look at my Tarot with Training Wheel series. I clearly am passionate about keywords. But there is something to be said about the fact that keywords can sometimes be limiting. So there's that. But if you were trying to learn tarot and wanted just something that was going to give you enough to like kind of go off of to like get you started, this looks pretty good. It's got a little bit to go on its goal, but it's also got a lot of time left. So maybe take a peek at that one. Looks interesting. The Sketches of Meaning Tarot. Sketches of Meaning. Okay. No, it's too sketchy, which I realize is entirely the point of this deck. But for me, it's just too sketchy. It's too sketchy. It's not my thing. But let's take a look at how it's doing. Okay, so it's almost met its goal and it's got lots of time left. If this is up your alley, you might want to take a peek. Looks like it's planning to ship in December. So not bad, not too long of a wait. The Dream Tarot deck of favorites, a mismatched deck of favorites. Okay, so here's my hot take on this. It's got a lot of color through it. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, it's a deck where each card looks like it's from, or maybe not every single card, but there's lots of different tarot decks represented. And I just couldn't get the Ali Men's Tarot out of my head. So it's a very similar concept, at least it looks to be, but maybe without that sort of vibe and aesthetic. It's a very different aesthetic. It's much more colorful. There's a lot more sort of like what looks like playful images. More vibrant. There's definitely some decks in here that I recognize. We have, of course, the Little Buddha Tarot by the same creator with some cards. I see some cute and creepy tarot or creepy and cute tarot. Oh, there's that unicorn. I think it's called the Rainbow Unicorn Tarot. I see a card from that in there. So super cute premise, but I backed the Ali Men's Tarot, which to me is the same kind of mismatched. And normally, I mean, honestly, the Ali Men's Tarot even is not for me. That whole mix of like different kinds of artwork is like the exact thing that I never ever say I like. But the Ali Men's was just so unique in its concept, and this is just a little bit later than Ali Men's for me. So I'm going to just wait and see how I feel about Ali Men's before I get any other sort of mismatchy styled tarot decks. There's something about this like 6-legged like raccoon beaver creature. I don't know how I feel about that. Next, the With Love Oracle deck, Tarot Inspired. So this is not anywhere close to its goal, but it's got quite a bit of time left. It looks like it's kind of like a, what do you call it? I was going to say manifestation. That's not right. Like a affirmation. It looks like an affirmation style deck. That's what I was looking for. Cute, colorful. Looks like it's got kind of like, I was going to say pop art. I don't know if that's even a real thing. I just made that up in my head. Or I'm not using it properly. It's probably one of those two things. This art style is not speaking to me. I just am not feeling called to it. It feels a little bit, I want to say repetitive, but these characters are all so different that I think that's a me thing. Oh, and there's a numbering thing. So the cards have different, it looks like angel numbers on them. Is this inspired by angel numbers? Maybe that's the whole point. Let's just see. This is why it's a hot take and a first impression because I have no idea what I'm looking at. Let's just see. Yeah. Focuses on color, numbers, and diversity with an emphasis on self-love and healing. It looks like that's accomplished that. I'm sure there's more here, But because it's not grabbing me, I'm going to go ahead and move on because it's definitely not one that I'm going to be hopping all over. But it looks really cool, and maybe keep an eye on it or the creator. The Rosebud Tarot. Okay, I've looked at this a few times. It's well surpassed its goal. It keeps catching my eye, and I don't know exactly why that is. So this is definitely a maybe for me. I am watching it. In fact, I've clicked the little save button, which will remind you. If you don't know this on Kickstarter, the save button will actually remind you when a Kickstarter is about to finish so that you don't forget to back it if you do want to back it. So I've clicked that button on here. There's where are the rest of the cards? Hold on. Okay, here we go. It's very like vintage collage feel, layered. This has been really attractive to me lately, and I'm not entirely sure why. Totally digging the renaming of the majors a bit, though. The youth instead of the fool, the mage instead of the magician, the witch instead of the high priestess, the life giver instead of the empress, the elder instead of the emperor, and the professor instead of the hierophant. Loving those changes. That's just kind of a fun take on that. The hang up instead of the hanged one, which is super interesting to me. Alchemy instead of temperance. Very, very cool. Yeah, I have to keep looking at this one because it keeps grabbing my attention, and I haven't fully decided why, but this looks really, really cool. And again, it's fully funded. So there you go. The Seams Tarot. A bunch of people tagged me in this one too. So this is the, there's a full name for it, and I don't want to get it wrong. So let me scroll up. Oh, it's right in the title. No, is it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Southeast Asian Myths and Stories. It's got 150 backers. It's well on its way to its goal. It's still got 17 days, so I'm confident this one can make its goal, no problem. The artwork is pretty. It does look like a collab deck. I think that's actually the point. I think it is meant to be a collab deck. There's a bunch of information. It looks like different artists. I'm just going to go with that rather than hunting for the confirmation, but it does look like if this is not a collab deck, then the art is not as cohesive as I would personally like for my own practice. This is definitely the kind of thing that I probably wouldn't reach for because of that difference in all of the artwork and the way that it's all represented, but I think this is really cool and it's worth checking out. Looks like there are some walkthroughs available that you can watch that are like pinned right on the campaign page, so you can definitely check it out. I love when campaigns have all these like videos or like extra pictures or interviews with the creators. I think that's super cool. So yeah, keep your eyes on this one for sure. The Southeast Asian Myths and Stories Tarot looks really cool. Also, it says it seems Tarot 3. So I'm assuming there was a 1 and a 2. If anybody's had 1 and 2 and has feedback on that for everybody else watching this video, leave that in the comments. We can continue the conversation. But this looks really cool. I'm going to say that a lot because there's a lot here that like looks cool, but it's not up to me. Oh, I need to hit the remind me button on this. I keep looking at this one, The Lost Tarot, an exquisite medieval themed 78 card tarot. So this is currently well over its funding goal. It's got 355 backers. I'm going to hit the remind me button because I need to take a closer look. I think the framing on these cards throws me off a little. It does look incredibly detailed and pretty. It might not be for me. I don't know. There's a lot happening here, and I don't know. I'm gonna take a closer look. It's very grown up feeling for my aesthetic, to be completely honest. So it may not come home with me, but it looks really pretty. I'm going to say that a lot. Just like this is shallow impressions. That's what you're going to get from me. The Cupid Lenormand. It's red. It's very Valentine's Day themed. This is cute for a Lenormand because the images are very clear. They're very simple. The color theme is super cute. This has got a legit Valentine's Day theme. If I read Lenormand for clients on the regular, I would be tempted to pick this up just to use in the month of February because it does have that fun Valentine's Day theme. Is it due to come out? Yep, it is. Look at this. Due to come out around January. So just in time for Valentine's Day. That's really cute. Oh, it's not close to its goal, but it's got lots of time. So it's about a 25% of the way there. Leaning towards 30%, I think, if I can math in my head at all. And it's got 19 days to go. So there's lots of time. It's got those cute Valentine's Day vibes. So look at it's got like even like the little boat, like they're going into the tunnel of love. So cute. The Incromancy 3. So I'm pretty sure this is also a collab deck, but it is. The unique tarot deck is illustrated by tattoo artists from around the world. I've seen these hit Kickstarter before. This is the third one. So I have seen either 1 or 2 in the past. I think tattoo themed art is really super cool, but see previous comment about me and collab decks, not necessarily my thing. But this art looks really funky, and it looks like it's certainly going to make its goal as long as we don't get complacent. I think it's really cool this deck is happening, and I'm sure they already have an existing super strong fan base for this type of work. Really cool. Again, it's a collab deck, so I know I probably won't reach for it, but I can appreciate it from afar. The Rider Cat Tarot. The Rider deck we all know and love with cats. Here's my hot take. It's not the Rider Tarot deck we all know and love just with cats. I mean, I guess technically that's true. But what it more specifically is, from this one image, at least, shallow moralizing, is cat heads. And they look almost like photographic cat heads that have been attached to the Rider-Waite-Smith people's bodies. And I can't. I can't. See, I told you it's like a trend. There's something about like animal heads and people bodies. These might be drawn. These might not be photographed. Nope, they're drawn. They're definitely illustrated. That was my bad, but they looked really realistic. Oh, and we have some cat paws making an appearance as well. But like mostly it's just cat heads. Oh, look, we get an in progress, like we get to see the transformation from people heads to cat heads, from people heads to cat heads, people heads, cat heads. I'm getting goofy. It's very late. Okay, closing that. The Light Sprite Tarot. Okay, this is cute. I would rename this deck the Glowy Stick Figure Tarot. This is adorable. Like glowy little stick figures, super cute, playful. Love that in the Six of Wands we have a glowy stick figure riding a ladybug. That's everything. This is fun. I'm probably not going to back it. Probably not, but it's super fun. That is colorful. I'm always a sucker for the colorful decks. It's met its goal and then some by quite a bit, so that's awesome. I love that. Atlas Chaosium? Atlas Chaotica, an Urban Magician's Tarot, a chaos-inspired tarot deck filled with urban imagery that is one part psychedelic, one part Dave McKean. Who's that? And one part alt-rock. This is for sure not my scene, but I have to look at it anyways. Where's the rest of the images? Hello? Oh, there we go. There's an Ace of Wands. It's a candle. There's a Two of Wands. There's a Three of Wands. I feel like this creator should not have such high resolution images of their artwork on here so that nobody snarks it. It's funky. Again, not my scene, but like, I love that Two of Cups. I love the light around their clasped arms and the Two of Cups tattoo on the wrist, or the forearm rather. That's cool. Not for me. The Light in the Mist, a Tarot Puzzle Tale. Okay, I said I was going to talk about this. We have to talk about this. This is really tempting. But not because I want the deck. Because if I were to look at the... Okay, let me back up. If you have not heard of this, you can see I've saved it. You can also see it's well over its funding goal, and it's still got like 24 days to go at the time I'm filming this. So when you guys see it, it'll still have at least 15... I think I'm filming this about a week in advance. Anyways... A narrative puzzle adventure in the form of a beautifully illustrated tarot deck. So this is like an adventure game that you can play solo or with other people, and it's also a tarot deck. It's like a tarot themed, yeah, it says an adventure game in the form of a tarot deck that weaves together hours of resonant storytelling, stunning artwork, and unique puzzle gameplay. Now, I am a big fan of playing games with my family. Particularly, we tend to like escape room style games where you basically go through that's what this makes me think of, is like an escape room style game, like a puzzle game, like a teamwork, cooperative kind of situation. I don't know. It looks like a mystery game and a puzzle game. So it says, it's like in this Venn diagram, it's like puzzle game, story, art, and tarot deck. And then where it all converges is the Light in the Mist. And I got so many comments and messages about this one when I was asking for your guys' requests for hot takes. And it looks like you pick a card to solve, then you gather the rest of the cards that have a matching symbol, read the clue for the puzzle in the story booklet, solve the puzzle to a keyword and find it in the solution index, then read a story passage and record your progress. This looks like you're going to get a good amount of gameplay out of it. There's a peek into the story, a peek at the cards, and then all the stuff. Now, at first glance, just on this sample, it does look like the cards aren't going to be like this particularly spectacular physical quality. I think what you're buying here is a game that has a tarot deck as part of the gameplay. I would not buy this, personally. I would not back this with the intention that I was going to use the tarot deck as a standalone tarot deck. I would be getting this because I think a tarot deck themed game is cool as everything. And like, I think that would be super fun. to play and do. And it looks like you can play it as a solo game or with other people. Sometimes I can get my family to play games with me, but on the off chance that I couldn't, I could buy this and play it all by myself and it'd be fine. I'm like super excited to hear about this. Oh, and I just spotted something especially awesome. So you remember how I just said that the quality of the deck doesn't look spectacular? And then I look here and one of the stretch goals was to upgrade the card stock to 350 GSM, which I know is usually a pretty decent card stock, even with or without a core. And they've met that stretch goal. So like the cards are going to be pretty decent. All I have to say is that I'm probably backing this. That's what I have to say. This looks like a lot of fun. It also funded in 2 hours. You know you're going to get it. Oh, when's it supposed to ship? I forgot to check. July. So this is going to be a bit of a wait. I backed the different tarot game thing before, so we'll see. But this is exciting. And I can't wait to hear down below which of, if you guys are getting this. Are you getting this? Do you already know who's going to play it with you? Are you going to play it by yourself? Are you going to play it at all? Are you just getting it for the deck? Tell me all the things I want to know. The Bohemian Wise Oracle deck. Wisdom overcomes fear. This is nowhere near its funding goal, but it also just launched at the time I'm filming this. So it's an Oracle deck. It says, be open with your intentions. Keep peace in this way. Understand what deludes you will become your catalyst for letting go. Not sure about how that's worded. The hour arrives once you understand the reason for experiencing your karma. Only then can you expand in this dimension. Some of the wording in these sounds a little off to me. Looking away from the problem is how you will gain control over it. I feel like these are too word heavy. I feel like I would pick this apart because if I don't fully align with the wording, I wouldn't want to use it. But I think it's got a good premise. Seek to know the truth and nature will reveal it to you. I think this looks cool. I think it's too word heavy. There's a sweet spot for me, right? Between like having beautiful art and a keyword or 2 keywords or 3 keywords I can really use versus just beautiful art versus just too many words. So this I feel like just tips away from my personal perfect balance, but it's probably worth taking a quick look if you're grabbed by what you've seen so far here. This one, I got a ton of requests to talk about. The Tarot of Japanese Poetry. Now, this is a tarot deck based on Japanese haiku poetry. And it looks really, really pretty. And I was like this close to clicking the back button. And I'll tell you why I didn't. First of all, the minor suits are based on the seasons. Instead of cups, swords, pentacles, and wands, you have spring, autumn, fall, winter. Spring, autumn, fall, winter? Spring, autumn, summer, winter. I was like, one season is duplicated there. Okay, but here's the issue I have. I could be wrong. But nowhere on this campaign could I find which season was associated with which suit. I could make some guesses, but I couldn't quite tell. And I also found that it wasn't jumping out at me from the artwork which card these would correlate to in the Rider-Waite-Smith. Now, it could be that these are kind of going their own way, but I couldn't tell that from what I found here on the campaign. And I was, like I said, I was this close to backing it, but I'm not sure. It's got 88 illustrations, so there's definitely extra cards. I don't actually know from this because it's not explicitly laid out that I've seen. I could have missed it. Please feel free to correct me down below. But I haven't seen where the structure is specifically identified, like where it says there's going to be this many major arcana cards. They're following the Rider-Waite-Smith structure. There's going to be ace through 10 plus a page, knight, queen, king in each season. And these are the ways that you correlate the seasons in the season suits in this deck to the Rider-Waite-Smith suits. And because I don't know the answer to those questions, I don't actually know if this would be a usable deck. But the paintings that illustrate the individual haikus are absolutely gorgeous. The idea of haiku and cards to work together is a really cool concept that I think is really inspiring and has a place for you to jump off from, especially if you like to journal your tarot readings. But again, until I know, here's where it says Major Arcana cards 0 through 22. Ah, yes, and here's where my confusion began. I noticed that there were alternative 10 of Winter, so I was like, well, maybe Winter is swords, and there's one more positive and one a little bit more bleak looking, so I was like, okay, that's swords. It looks like swords, right? The 6 of water looks like the 6 of swords. But then it started to get a little bit, I'm not sure. I think spring might be cups. But see, we also have a person in a boat in the Ace of Summer. I don't know. I'm going to wait until this one is out and I can see a flip through or something. But there's 154 backers. It's definitely met its goal. I hope I get to see a walkthrough at some point because it really does look super pretty and special. I just don't know yet if the structure would work for me as a working deck. The Neon Pam. This is on Indiegogo. You can totally back it now. It's estimated to ship in December. It is a Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot in bright neon colors. I am real picky about Rider-Waite-Smith clones, so this is not on my list, but it looks like it'd be really cool under a black light. So that's neat. It's pretty. I don't really go for individual colorations and versions of Rider-Waite-Smiths. It's not really my personal thing, but it's pretty and it's very bright. And on that note, it's giving me total like late 80s, early 90s vibes, but like, yeah, that's a pass for me, but looks pretty. Okay, stop what you're doing. Well, okay, finish watching this video. Bookmark this deck. I don't care if you want nothing to do with the Pasta Tarot, but bookmark this, and when you're done watching this video, watch the campaign video for this deck. It will give you life, because it gave me life. I watched this, and it was the best thing I'd seen on the internet in a little bit. It was fantastic. I have zero desire to own the Pasta Tarot. I have no affinity with pasta. I mean, I like pasta, it's fine. But like the cleverness of this campaign, the work put into it, the professionalism, the personality, it is spectacular. I appreciate it for what it is. A very well done marketing campaign for an incredible looking deck that if you are if you want something kind of food related in your tarot collection, or if you have an affinity to this world or to pasta, check it out. But like, even if you have zero interest in this as a deck, please go watch the video, because you can tell it's just so well done, and it made me laugh. It was an absolute delight. I watched parts of it twice, like the entire campaign page. Don't just stop at the video. I'm not gonna even spoil it for you, because I'm not buying this, but just trust me. Go click on the link for the Pasta Tarot. I'm not affiliated. I've never heard from these creators. I have no idea who they are, but just go watch it. It's fantastic. That's my hot take on that. Just go watch it and appreciate it. Moving on. The Soul Alchemist cards, ready to trust the portal of renewal. So this is another Oracle style deck, if I remember correctly. Oh, I don't think I've even really looked at this. So like a lot of them I'll at least see long enough, like when I add the links to my list and stuff. This one I didn't even look at, and I'm viscerally not liking it. Not because it's like I think it's awful or anything like that. I just viscerally, I'm like, no, this is definitely not for me. There's too much going on in the artwork. Oh, I don't get enough. By the way, I apologize if my scrolling is too fast. I'm a fast scroller. It's what I do. Anybody else out there a fast scroller? There's a unicorn, I think, or is it a zebra on the back of the? Okay, now I need to know. Is it a unicorn or a zebra on the back of the cards? It's a unizebra. I'm pretty sure that's a unizebra. Also, that's not a thing in my mind or in my world, so that's already a deal breaker. Yeah, this is not for me. There's a lot of stuff happening in the borders, and no, this one's not for me. But I'd be curious to hear from you guys. It looks like it's doing pretty well. It's got 30 more days to go. There's probably a lot more to it than this shallow, quick glance is letting me see. But because it's a visceral no right away when I see the cards, because they don't feel like something I'm interested in learning more about, I'm just going to leave it there. But keep me posted if this is one you're getting. The Wisdom of the Depths. Okay, we have another ocean deck. Y'all are trying to kill me. That's what's happening. This has met its goal. It's another ocean-y themed deck. Because it's met its goal, I'm going to chill. I'm just going to chill. I don't need this. I'm getting other ocean-y decks. Do we get to see some of the art? Oh, this has kind of got some funky personality. This is way quirkier than any of the other ocean decks. If you are a fan of quirky decks, like check out the Hermit. There's like this like collage funkiness, and there's like a woman coming out of like a hermit crab. There's like this like cool, funky, quirky thing about this deck. I am so excited for this to come out and somebody to make a walkthrough. This is not a deck I'm personally drawn to, but it's really creative and fun. I want to see, look at the dude riding the puffin. This is fantastic. Whoever created this has like one of those minds. Like this is the kind of person, the creator of this, who you just want to sit and have coffee with and like hear about the things that inspire them and like what their ideas are for their deck, because it's fascinating. That looks really cool. Is it met its funding goal? Did I already look? I can't remember now. 81 backers. It's met its goal. Yeah, I'll be watching for walkthroughs of that one. If you backed it, let me know down below. Okay. The Golden Light Lenormand. I feel like I looked at this one already. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I've definitely seen this somewhere. Why does this look so familiar? It's super colorful, which I love. I have seen this for sure. I think I might have seen this on the creators. I feel like they have an Etsy shop, and I like saw it on their Etsy shop. This child card specifically is so familiar. Like I've seen it and thought about it and decided against it, but it's really vibrant and pretty. The Starlight Divine Tarot, a deck set for beginners. So it looks like it's really word heavy, question mark. Let's see. Oh, there's like no images in the campaign. Okay, that's a hard pass. With an $18,800 goal. Now this is just launched. So something else to keep in mind when I show you guys these campaigns, creators can edit campaigns once they're up. So it could be that more images are forthcoming. I don't know. But at the time I'm filming this, it's got 35 days to go. There's no video and there's no photos in the campaign. So not to sound like super impatient, but also in a super impatient way, I'm probably not going to pause and read all of this because I can't even tell if artistically I'm drawn to this. The preview image here doesn't leave me a lot to go off of. It looks like a sigil-based deck with titles. So I'm not sure how it's a tarot deck set for beginners. If I was looking for a beginner tarot deck set, I might read through to see if it sounds like it's gonna meet my needs, but right now there's nothing really grabbing me. And finally, the Black Silk Tarot. A tarot card deck I designed and drew myself, printed on cardstock with a box I designed as well. And Black Silk Tarot. So it's yellow and black. Okay. Again, more minimalist. I would say more monochromatic, like black and white with pops of yellow. Not really enough images for me personally, but maybe worth keeping an eye on. Okay. So before we wrap this up, because I'm just interested in the saga at this point, let's take a peek at one of the one deck I've talked about in every hot takes since I began so far, and it is the Maven Tarot. So if you remember, I've talked about this in both previous videos. If you want to hear my thoughts on this, go back and check my first hot take and my last one. So my August and my September. So as of today, there is still not one update from the creator. They created the campaign on July 28th. It funded on September 6th. They've never come back. They've never come back and answered any of the backers' questions. And I think if I click on the creator's name, they've still not logged in. They last logged in on July 28th, the date they created this campaign. But 70 people backed it. So where did that $4,118 go? And this is why I think you want to be careful on Kickstarter or on Indiegogo or pre-ordering on Etsy or anywhere else. I don't know. Maybe this will turn into something. It doesn't look like it's going to turn into anything to me. Looks like someone created a campaign and is walking away with $4,000. I hope they come through with something for their backers. You'd think at the least they would have logged back in and said, hey, thanks for the pretty money. All right, on that note, apparently I just want to see what happens. Like, I just want to see if it ever goes anywhere. So maybe, you know what, maybe we will just continue to peek in on this throughout this series and just see. If you're curious, if you guys want to continue to see like a little check-in on the Maven Tarot every time I do one of these, let me know. I'll pop in here and see what's happening. I would love nothing else than to be proven completely wrong, for there to be something happening in the back end and some product to come through for people, a tarot deck ideally, since that's what it says it is, or the stickers for the people who asked for stickers or whatever it is. I would love to be proven wrong and that this becomes a product for people who backed it. But we'll see. So if you want to be kept up to date, if we want to keep doing little check-ins during these videos, let me know down below. But that concludes my hot takes for October 2021. That was a lot a lot of decks to talk about. These are so much fun for me to film. It's really fun for me to get a chance to just kind of browse through and take a look at all the things that are coming out and really think about what my first impressions are. And often I find that I add things to my wish list from this video, or I take them off my wish list from this video. I've got a few that I've sort of pinned and bookmarked to take a peek at later, but that is all I've got for now on October's Hot Takes. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you to everybody who contributed by letting me know what decks you guys were excited to hear me talk about or excited about being open for pre-order. I really appreciate our sort of collective brain that helps us come up with this, that it just makes such a difference in putting this together. If I had to do it all by myself, it'd be a lot harder. So thank you all so much. As always, thank you for spending your precious time with me here on this channel. It means a lot. Please click the like button, subscribe if you're new here, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you're notified of all my future videos. Thank you all so much, and may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye, guys.